What's going on, everybody? Living to learn. Thanks again for tuning in for another video. Again, if you haven't, please subscribe, like, share, comment. However you feel free to support. Thank you for those of you who are consistently watching my videos, my shorts, my reels on social media. I really appreciate the support. It means a lot. You're also welcome to donate financially if that's something that you feel led to do. You don't have to do it. Watching and subscribing, sharing this information with other people is plenty of support. So I do appreciate that. Looking forward to another great week. Hope everybody's been having a great February. Already 2 months into the new year, and you know how it goes. It goes by fast, right? So it's really something, right? How time flies. I wanted to share something with you. I sent this to a couple of people last week while I was reading it because it really hit home with me. It's a quote from a book that I'm reading. So this book is called U Squared. So like the math, the whole like the math formula of squared, right? It's got the little number 2 at the corner. This book is called U Squared, YOU Squared. It's written by Price Pritchett, PhD, and it's just about personal effectiveness, right? How to quantify your personal effectiveness. And it's a short book, but it's really powerful. It's got a lot of great information in it. If you have a chance and you're not a big reader, I would recommend it because it's like literally like 30 pages long. But the information is really good. So if you are going to read it, don't just rush through it just because it's not a long book, but take your time. That's what I've been doing. I've been taking my time. Usually it's when I'm out on the road. If I have time in between appointments, that's when I get some reading in, right? So I got a couple of books that I keep in my car. This is one of them. And so last week I was hanging out. I actually had an appointment I showed up to, and it was just a misunderstanding. They were expecting a different type of product that we don't offer. And so it pretty much was a canceled appointment, which, it sucks, but it happens. It's part of the job, but things could be worse. And so I was like, well, hey, at least I'm out here by the beach, right? So I was in a really beautiful part of Southern California, and had some time to kill before my next appointment. So drove up, parked by the beach. I don't know if I've ever shared this, but the beach is like that's like my happy place, right? Being by the water, seeing the ocean, just being out there in the air and just the perfect weather. SoCal, we're very fortunate. We don't have a lot of bad weather days. And when we do, we get real dramatic because we're not used to it. But this happened to be just a beautiful day. Some people might consider it cold. I don't get cold easily, so it was perfect for me. And so took a walk, went out, just enjoyed, being out in the scenery. Came back and sat in my car and did some reading, right? Had some time to kill. So did some reading. And so where I was at was in a chapter called Suspend Disbelief. Okay. And I want to share this quote with you. Again, this is from a book called U Squared. It's written by Price Pritchett, PhD. And here's what he says. Here's what he writes. Okay. Doubt is what does the most damage. So don't give it any mental space. Proceed boldly, as if it is completely inconceivable that you will experience anything other than a successful quantum leap. If you must doubt something, doubt your limits. And I thought that was incredible. If you must doubt something, doubt your limits. Do you want to know why you're not getting better? Do you want to know why you're not getting ahead? Do you want to know why you are struggling to arrive at a place that is beyond where you're at currently? It's because you're doubting the wrong thing. More than likely, you're doubting yourself. Okay? Well, let's talk about that for a minute. Because number one, I think that's something that I think it's unavoidable as human beings. And there's a lot that goes into it, particularly whatever messaging, whatever programming has been instilled in us, from the youngest ages all the way into where we're at now, that has formed this belief that we have about ourselves. Okay. Now, the reason I think it's unavoidable is because I take someone like myself, for instance, right? And again, I've talked about this before. And, I don't know how it comes off. If you maybe think it sounds like I'm bragging, or, I hope it doesn't come off that way. But I mean, in all honesty, I have no shame at all in being proud of my family, being proud of how I was raised. I'm going to celebrate that as often as I can, because now at my age, I finally learned that, just how important and how, fortunate I've been. But I say all that to tell you this: I struggle with doubt. I struggle with seeing myself in the light that I need to see myself in to become the person that I want to be. Okay. So I think, well, I don't know how you can ask for a better upbringing than the one that I've had. All the support, all the care, all the love, it's been there for me. It's been there. And I still struggle. So that being said, in my mind, this is unavoidable for all of us, right? So to me, I when I read this, I'm thinking, okay, well, here's some instruction, right? Here's some instruction. And what this does, right? What a quote like this does, and even what this channel's for, is to really just to get the ball rolling, right? I can't walk you any further than that. Okay, I can quote this part of the book, and I can leave it with you, right? Just like when I read it, it resonates with me. I left it with myself, and I'm thinking, okay, what do I do with this, right? What do I do with this? I have friends that are my age, and they still have this outlook on life, like one day everything I want, everything I'm looking for, everything I'm dreaming of, everything I desire is going to happen. Like one day it's just going to happen. And honestly, I feel bad for people that have that outlook. When we're kids, we don't know any better. We're naive. We're dreamers, right? We're not afraid to dream big when we're kids. We need to recapture that as adults. It's okay. You can dream big. Have desires. Have things that you want. Fantasize about being someone better than you are today. That's the beauty of being alive. We can imagine. But then there's the reality to it. The reality is this. That will all be determined by what you do about it. I can't expect to be this great, influential life coach if I'm not working on it. I can't expect to achieve financial freedom if I'm not taking steps to get there. There's no magic lamp. There's no genie, right? And see, even when those of us who grew up, in church, those of us who grew up religious, sometimes we think of God that way. We interpret those things like, wow, you know what? I'm just going to be a good person, and I'm going to pray hard, and I'm going to make sure I read my word every day, and then everything's just going to come my way. And I'm not discouraging you to do those things, okay? If that's your commitment, if that's what brings you peace, if that is what helps you in your development, I'm all for it. I got nothing against that. Okay, but what this is telling me, if you're going to doubt something, doubt your limits, is that there's two ways to go. Two ways to go. And everything begins and ends with me. So if you're not getting better, if you're not where you want to be, it's probably because you're doubting the wrong thing. How do you undo that? Well, like everything else, you take small steps. And you make sure that those steps are going forward, not backward. And this is difficult. And I know it's difficult because guess what? I'm struggling too. I know it's difficult because guess what? There are still things that I have not yet overcome. However, I understand that if I want any chance at overcoming them, it's on me. I've got to do things different. I've changed a lot over the years. And I've seen the results, positive results from those changes. However, there's still more changes to make. So if I doubt my limitations, then I have the freedom to pursue that change. I have the freedom now to go after getting better. And that's what I wanted to share with you. That's what this quote tells me. If you must doubt something, doubt your limits. Proceed like you're not, like there's nothing else that can happen to you but success. Why not? Why not? Nothing's guaranteed, of course. I mean, come on, this is reality. This is reality. You know, what is I love what my trainer told me, right? When I started this job, my sales trainer said, hey, if you want 100% close rate, go work at McDonald's. Go work at McDonald's because everybody in line is buying. There's no haggling, right? No one needs to think about it, right? No one needs to get a second opinion. No one needs to get other estimates. They're ready to buy, okay? Well, basically what he's saying is you don't expect to close every deal. You just got to understand that. You got to understand it's just not going to happen. Doesn't matter how good you are. You can go on a hot streak. You know, you might hit 2 in a row. You might get all 3 that day. It happens, okay? But it's not always going to happen. And that's the same approach we need to take in this pursuit as we are trying to get better, as we are trying to develop ourselves to be a better version of ourselves. Understand you're going to miss probably 90% of the time, 80% of the time. And you're going to want to doubt yourself. You're going to want to say it's because I can't do this, but it's not true. It's not true. And I think I've mentioned this before on this video, and you can check these references out anywhere else, okay? But the people that you look up to, the people that I look up to, the people that are role models to us in business, in our personal lives, just out there, people that we admire, they have failed. Probably more than most people. But it's allowed them to arrive at that destination. So you have to understand that. I have to understand that. Okay, so don't doubt yourself. Doubt your limits. If you're gonna have doubt about your limitations, because I'm telling you right now, you and I are more capable than we can even imagine. And that's something I'll never get tired of saying. That's something I pass on to my sons. I want them to understand that early. You can do more than you even think. Because the negative programming, it starts early. That doubt starts early, especially in this day and age. With all the imagery, with all the social media pressure, with all the, if you're not here, you're not anywhere, It's these standards that exist that are just ridiculous. So tune out the noise. Focus on you. And pursue it. Whatever it is. Like you can do nothing but succeed. That's the attitude you got to have. That's how we got to do it. That's why if you're not getting better, that's why. Okay? You're doubting yourself when you should be doubting your limits. You're doubting yourself when you should be doubting your limitations. Okay, we can't afford to do that. We're too special. We're too gifted. We're too talented. We're too necessary to do that. Yeah, I said it, necessary. You have no idea who you're going to affect in this life. You have no idea who you need to become so that you can be effective. And what that's going to do for others and what that's going to do. I mean, it's a ripple effect. Don't ignore your own importance. Don't deny that. So I just wanted to share that with you today. I hope it helps. Again, U Squared is the book. Price Pritchett, PhD, is the author. Great book. Not long. If you're not a big reader, this is perfect for you. Each chapter is like 2 pages. And read it slowly. Let it soak in. And yeah, don't doubt yourself. Doubt your limitations. Doubt your limits. If you have to doubt that. Thanks for watching.